Alright friends, today we're looking at something really special. We're looking at something from the Alien movie universe, specifically from the movie Prometheus. What do you mean that's not it? Where does the name come from then? Ancient Greek Titan, God of Fire, Master Craftsman. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense then. So this is the Blon BL-A8, also known as Prometheus. And this frankly alien-looking IEM is one of the newest additions to the Blon lineup, which begs the question, is this an upgrade as a step up on top of everything else that Blon already had available? Let's check it out right after this. It doesn't matter if you're gaming on your couch, a fully RGB flooded setup on your desk, or taking part in online business meetings. What you hear and what others hear from you are equally important. So ditch the shackles of headsets, be it gamer or otherwise, and enjoy the freedom to use your own preferred headphones with the convenience, portability, and incredible sound of the ModMic Wireless from Antlion. A fully wireless mic with 2 modes for optimal pickup and isolation, best-in-class audio quality with super low latency, cross-platform compatibility, easy to install and versatile enough to take with you anywhere, easy to control with the push of a button, and easy to charge while sporting extensive battery life. Check out the ModMic Wireless in the links below. Okay, so if we are talking step up, it usually means that prices also go along with. Same stuff happens with the A8 at an MSRP of $85. This means that it's $35 more expensive than the one that it's, trying to overcome, the BL-A8. Now, for the next 1 or 2 days, this is actually out for $66. Sorry, I know it's kind of, last minute deals, but and at 85, it's not necessarily the best contender for the money. There is arguably better sounding stuff out there for 80 to $85, but at 66, this becomes a way easier sell. Still, that's not to say that at MSRP, this is not worth it on its own, especially because better sounding stuff definitely kind of gets into personal preference territory. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. But the IEMs, the build of these things is flipping phenomenal. Tanky, super solid, hefty, well built, but actually much lighter than I expected. This thing looks amazing. It's beautiful, especially in this silver color. The black/brown one doesn't really pop out as much to me, if I'm being honest. But this one, it just looks like this is the craziest looking IEM that I have ever seen, and I absolutely love it. 500 thumbs up for Blon on the design of this thing. So design and build wise, you're definitely getting your money's worth. But in terms of accessories, well, not so much. The box is definitely different than before, but we are still looking at music and dreams and let music burn, but at least spelled properly this time. On the other hand, a potty is nowhere to be seen. Like basically anything else that one could hope to see in a box of IEMs. The cable is honestly excellent this time. I have zero complaints. Silver plated, nice flow, dual twist, nice metal splitters, nice metal connectors, nice metal separators. Dual pin, by the way, and pretty snug. And the shape and angle of the IEM plus the cable, when you put them on your ears, may seem a bit off, but trust me, they do fit great. They're not too cold, not too heavy, the cuts in the metal don't interfere with the comfort, and the shape is just right to sit in your ears with no extra tension from the cable hook that would come off as uncomfortable. The tips are super basic, they're silicone, so if they fit you, great. If not, you are going to replace them and it's not that big of an issue, unless you actually have to buy an extra set of tips, which then falls into, a greater discussion in cost and price and value and all that jazz. But that's about it. Save for the little potato sack that Blon apparently still thinks it's all you need to carry around your $85 IEMs. And frankly, that's laughable, especially compared to any IEM above $25 nowadays? At least using only a single 10mm driver per ear with an impedance of 16 ohms and 115 decibels of sensitivity, well, you shouldn't really need to carry anything else other than the IEMs and your phone with you when you're on the go. You're definitely not going to want for power when you're driving your A8s. Definitely not. But let's talk sound, because I'm pretty sure that none of you guys would pay the extra $35 just for the looks and the cable if I told you that they sound exactly the same as the BL-A8, right? Well, just kidding. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like the A8. It is precisely what I said in the beginning, a step up. This is an upgrade in the terms of getting everything the A8 did and basically doing it better. So we are talking an energetic and wide sound signature that's more V-shaped, has more emphasis on the low end, at least in terms of the amount of detail and precision that it strives to achieve, while not focusing too much on the mids, but at least not, completely letting them off to slip away and be overpowered by both the lows and the high notes. Now, to be a bit more precise about that, the low end sounds full. There's quite a bit of presence. The punch is strong, but not overly, face slapping. The rumble this thing is capable of, though, rivals that of like big bass headphones. It's pretty impressive. Execution is pretty well done. It's speedy in the delivery, and the extension has a nice range to it. But if I had to nitpick, I'd say that one, for $80, I would have expected a little more detail and a little more definition. Two, I actually think it bleeds a little bit too much on top of every other frequency, more than I expected, and would say that it's like okay for the money. And three, decay is sort of like a mixed bag. Sometimes it feels like it lingers too long when stuff should have ended already, so it feels artificially stretched, and sometimes it just ends abruptly to the point that you feel like stuff wasn't actually ready to end. Stuff ended before it was time to end. You guys get the point. And those would be my 3 nitpicks for the low end. When it comes to the mid-range, this is V-shaped, so that's definitely not its forte. I guess we can kind of feel like positive, since it doesn't completely neglect the mid-range in terms of doing it so poorly that it would be completely overpowered. But it lacks definition, it lacks sparkle, it lacks presence, and it's not very flattering to vocals. And I don't mean either male or female vocals. Vocals overall are not really, the thing that the A8 does best. The highs, though, they do get a little bit of time in the sun. They're not done to the same extent in terms of quality as the low end, but they have more detail than I expected, and they're done in a way that has enough presence and sparkle to bring enough brightness and detail out of the higher notes, to the point where you get little tidbits of sparkly detailed notes all around, especially when you're listening to something with a good ambiance. The wider the stage and the more little things are trickling down all around you, the more you get out of your experience with the Prometheus. So this thing is basically a warmer IEM with a lot of energy that's not looking to be super clean, even though it is pretty clear, but it's more preoccupied in being sort of a grumpy, grungy approach that's deep, strong, speedy, has a good wide stage that's not as artificially sounding as previous Blon IEMs actually, with good imaging, and perhaps more than anything else, that's trying to be fun to listen to. And I do realize that I basically just said the same things that I previously did about the A3 and the A5 again, but that's kind of the point. Unlike the BL-01 that I told you guys I didn't feel like it was doing a good job in bringing the Blon DNA out, the A8 sounds like a Blon. And it's a good thing, because it's not just a matter of sounding better. It's not just an improvement in the sound department. It also brings a frankly fantastically looking and built design to the table with a greatly improved set of cables, especially compared to the crap that they used to bundle with their IEMs previously. It's about time. And those things combined totally make this worth its asking price. For $66, I'd never say, yeah, totally, go buy a BL-05S, that's awesome. Put in the extra $11 and get this, 100%. At $85 though, that's when we get into the whole personal preference thing. And I do realize that I haven't released my personal review on them yet, but I know that you guys are going to compare these to the Arias. And yes, the Arias do some stuff better than the Prometheus. Just as the Legacy 2s, just as the Tin T4s, the Tin T2s, the H27s. I mean, there are many other IEMs. Pretty much any IEM at any price bracket has the potential to do something that's better in your opinion and the kind of music and kind of stuff that you're using your IEMs for. But again, personal preference. And I'm not going to spoil the review on the Arias just yet, but I will tell you guys this though. I have been jumping a lot between the Prometheus, the Arias, and one other IEM lately, like a lot. So it would be a complete lie if I told you guys that one, I've thought that these aren't worth it, or two, that I would not recommend. Plus, it absolutely merits the name Prometheus. Blon, you guys did a fantastic job with the design and build of these things. They look just amazing. They're stunning. Well done. And that's been it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for a fantastic year. 2021 has been a pretty all in all awesome year, so thank you guys, and I'll catch you in 2022.